The following podcast is recorded live in front of no one except my dad and his best friend.
This is Survivor Talk with D&D. I'm Dwayne.
And I'm David.
And we're just two best friends talking about a show we both love. So here we go. Tonight is our listener feedback show for episode 3 of Survivor One World, where we read, share, and discuss your feedback. So we have 2 feedbacks to go over tonight, David. Although one is long enough to count as 2.
Actually, if you break it up, it looks like 3.
Yeah, really. So I guess we'll just get right to it. Remember, folks, this show will be as long or as short as you make it. Your feedback is the topic of this show. All right, here we go. This is from Kathy. It says, "Hey D&D, love the show."
Great feedback. Once again, just super feedback.
Amazing.
There's more. Sorry.
Yes. All right. "I disagree with your assertion that the women should not have gone to the men's camp for warmth by the fire or asking for an ember. If the men are suckers enough to help the women are right in seeing them as a resource that can be exploited. The object of Survivor is to win $1 million, not to prove that you can play as well as a man." All right, before we go on, let me just say this. I wasn't saying anything about them proving they could play as well as a man.
Right.
So I'm not really... So that wasn't it for me. For me, it was just like, it just didn't seem right. It just seemed unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, I went back to listen to see what our assertion was.
Yeah.
And basically it was try to stick it out.
Yeah.
Don't give in so quick.
But I also get her point. She has a good point. Hey, we're trying to win $1 million. We're not playing a friendly game of Monopoly, right? We're not playing a friendly pickup game of basketball. This is for $1 million. So, just go ahead and go over there.
Actually, you could imply my original comment a couple podcasts ago, do it unto others before they do it unto you. So take advantage of the situation.
So I guess she's saying, look, if the guys are going to let you do it, then do it. And
that's where we had a problem.
Right. All right, so she goes on, and I like what she does here. "From a strategy point of view, the benefits of using the men. 1, the women were out of the rain, cold, and had clean water, both of which, I think, played into them doing well in the challenges. 2, the women sow discord in the male tribe between the men who want to help and the men who don't, weakening the tribe." Boy, those are 2 great points.
Yeah, she put a lot of thought into this. That's why I was like, wow, this is good feedback.
She's right, because if them going over there really helped them win the challenges, then yeah, great job, even if I didn't like it. But I can see what she's saying.
I don't want to give the women too much credit because they look like a bunch of soaking wet, shoes out there. But the fact that we joked about them going over there 2 at a time, left them out of making group decisions, but it allowed 2 of them to say, well, you'll have to talk to them. And while they're saying all this, they're sitting there getting warm.
That's true.
They're sitting there out of the rain. So,
and
I'd love to give them credit. I don't think they're that smart, but I'd love to give them credit for doing that little scheme.
Yeah, I think they were just miserable and trying to get help. But she's right. And this second point, the women sow discord. Well, they are sowing discord. And that's, why not? All right, but then she says the dangers of using the men are, post-merge, the men see the women as users and stay strong as a tribe, picking the women off. Mm-hmm. Although, judging the male-female interaction so far, I don't think this will happen. 2, the men in the jury chose to vote for a man over a woman because the man argues that the women were dependent on them for survival. I think this is one real danger, especially if the women continue to use the men. Yeah,
now, I think once this point happens, and you might agree that there's going to be a merge, obviously, and we both agree coming up soon. But it depends on who's on the jury and how they feel.
Right.
And a lot of people say, you know what? He played well, but she played smarter because she didn't do anything. Or I'll reverse it. She played well, but he played smart because he got away with doing almost nothing. So he kind of outwitted her. It depends on who's on the jury. Depends on how they want to vote.
Right. Now, you said merge. Were you talking about a mix-up or a merge?
I'm sorry, an intermingle mix, like you mentioned. Not a merge yet, right? I think the tribes are going to be intergendered very soon, like you.
Right. They will be intergendered.
Intergendered. You like that word?
Interesting.
Actually, it's a compound. No, it's not a compound word. Let me ask my 7-year-old son.
And again, I predict episode 5 for that intermingling
which
or
we're a week and a half away from.
intergendering. That's probably not. Who knows? The intermingling of
The
the
gender,
tribes.
the gender blend. How about
Yes,
that?
the gender blend. Survivor, one world, gender blend. All right, then she goes on. Kathy's going.
That's a T-shirt, man. You could sell a T-shirt.
Kathy's probably listening to this going, can you make my feedback any longer? All right. We're not even halfway through. All right. Overall, I'd say the benefits were real and immediate and outweighed the dangers, which were hypothetical and in the future. Again, I agree with you.
Good point.
Yeah, she has kind of changed my mind about whether or not the women should be over there.
So when is she coming onto the podcast?
Yeah. All right, next paragraph. As for whether the men should have allowed the women to sit by their fire, benefits. Judging by how the women are already treating their interactions with the men, they are much more likely to hold an emotional grudge against the men and vote that way after the merge and in the jury. Danger. Well, the same things I listed as the women's benefits above. They're stronger for the challenges. Other tribe mates disagree with you. For the men, the benefits are future but real. The grudge holding is already demonstrated, and the dangers are present and real. I'd say it makes more sense to withhold help if they unite as a tribe. But if the tribe is split, you should be on the side helping.
All right. I'd love to sit here and say that I would not let them take part of any of our shelter.
Right.
But I couldn't say that.
Well, yeah, that's what I said last time.
Yeah. But my thing is, if once they do the gender blend and become two tribes, are they going to stay separate? Are half the men and half the women going to go to the fire and the other half going to sit over there? I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah. They're going to compete separate, but I think the men are still going to sit by the fire. What's the rule?
Really?
You don't have to sit in your own camp.
You're saying that even if they intermingle the tribes and make it half and half girls and guys, you think that the guys will still all stick together and the girls will still all stick together? You don't think they'll go to their teams?
No, I think they'll compete against each other, but I think there's going to be alliances that remain after they split up. I mean, in camp life, not necessarily in challenge life.
I know that's what you're talking about, camp life.
In camp life, I think the guys are still going to mingle with the guys and the girls are still going to mingle with the girls.
Yeah, but do you think they'll – okay, I would think that they would still go to their new camp and that the guys would not just all sit around. Okay, let's put it this way. You're the girls and you now have the camp with the 8-foot ceilings and chandeliers and fire pit and all this wonderful stuff. You're not going to go over where the girls were. You're going to stay there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You're going to tell the new guys, get your butt over to the other side.
I'll be interested to see if Alicia and Sabrina are on the side with the fire and they tell Kim and Chelsea to get away. Now I don't know. I find
You're
that
right.
hard. I can't picture them separated. I picture them almost all at one camp here.
Golly, I don't know.
That's going to be interesting.
You can't help but think if they hadn't drawn the line in the sand with the stealing of the stuff off the truck and the chickens, if they would have been more friendly towards one another these first 7 or 8, 9 days. But those lines in the sand really just said, nope, this is how it's going to be. We're over here, you're over there. Don't mess with us. We won't mess with you.
But who was the main stickler for that?
Matt.
Who? The guy that's not on there anymore?
That's right. I know, but still. All right. Thank you, Kathy, for that feedback. You gave us how long of about 10 minutes
15.
worth of conversation.
Yeah, 10 or 15 minutes.
All right, our next feedback is from Sylvia, San Diego, California. Hello, D&D. I am really enjoying this season so far. I was very glad to see Matt go. His comments were making me crazy, and I didn't like him at all. I like Colton, even though his antics are a little over the top, and I was happy to see him make a move to get rid of one of the muscle pack. Your idea of the button crown was very funny. I wouldn't put it past him. All right, before we go on, you're right. My idea was funny.
Y'all should have seen a straight face that he had as he said that. I'm thinking, oh, he's not going to comment on the crown. He's actually going to comment on the comment.
No. But I've got to say, I like the way Colton's playing, but I'm having a hard time liking Colton because of the things that he's saying and how just self-absorbed he is. I mean, I'm just having a hard time liking him as a person in this game. The way they're editing him, although, I mean, these are his confessionals where he's saying some of this stuff. So
Yeah.
I can appreciate his gameplay, but I'm not enjoying him.
Well, since she doesn't talk about Matt anymore in this feedback, let me bring up a Matt point that I got out of an exit interview that I read from, I think it was Reality News Online. And Matt talked about as soon as he got there, his original pact was with the Muscleheads and Colton. Colton was in his original five. He said he got along with Colton. He
Uh-huh.
tolerated Colton, but he got along with him. But
Right.
everything changed when
When he,
Colton got the idol.
yes, I heard him say that on a,
Yes. I
yes,
thought that was very interesting that he actually was talking to Colton until
right.
Colton, and as soon as Colton got the idol, Colton wanted to be swooned
Right.
in a strategic way. Colton just said, "You come to me with what you want to
Exactly.
offer me. Make your
Right.
offerings to me, and I'll see what I can do." And Matt didn't want to do that.
That's right.
He wanted to work around that and get rid of Colton.
Right.
But I really found that interesting because he said Colton's a very smart player. He did
Right.
well, but everything changed when Colton got that idol.
Well, I don't know if you. Well, in fact, you told me you didn't, but I listened to this Joanna and Stacy's interview of
Uh huh.
Matt, and Matt said that up until Colton got the idol, he was whiny and woe is me and what am I gonna do? And as soon as he got the idol, everything changed. So they edited it differently where it didn't come across that way.
Well, we got a
But
little taste of him whining because he didn't want to stay at his camp, want to go to the other camp,
I
but we
know,
didn't
but
get
they
all of it.
I know, but they showed that in episode 2 and they or whatever, but they showed him getting the idol and they still showed him being whiny.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is Matt said once he got the idol, he became I am it.
Yeah, exactly. I read that too.
Right. So he was never whiny after he got the idol. Once he got the idol, he was in control and he was not whiny a bit, according to Matt.
And the other thing I thought was interesting was the last person Matt brought in was Flip Flop Bill,
Yeah.
and he never knew if he had Flip Flop Bill's
Right.
vote the whole
Right.
time. He said he's the one guy I wasn't sure about,
Right.
this, that, and the other. And I just found that I thought we thought Bill was in. Obviously, we
Yeah.
didn't see all that much till last week. We
Right.
actually saw too much of Bill, but we that I thought that was kind of interesting that he thought Bill was a flopper, and it did look like that. The way Bill
Yeah.
voted for Matt right away.
And boy, Bill and Colton are going to apparently get into it.
Yeah.
And did you see that preview?
Yes, I've
It's
seen
like
a couple different previews with
it's
that.
like Bill's trying to talk to Colton and Colton's having nothing to do with it. But
All
anyway.
they're showing is strife in the guys' camp. So
Oh
they're trying to
man.
lead us that way.
Cheater! Cheater! Cheater!
And what? No, I mean, you see people looking, the camera angle. You
I
got no
know.
idea what he's
Who
talking
knows
about.
what's going on?
He could be
All
having
right.
vision problems or something.
Well, before we get to that, let's finish Sylvia's feedback. If we ever start to get a lot of feedback, like 10 or 15, we're not going to be able to comment on them. You realize that. We're just going to have to read them. So
Yeah.
it won't be nearly as much fun, but there we go. All right. As to the girls going over to the guys' camp to warm up, I thought they would have been better not to go. If their camps weren't near each other, they'd have dealt with the weather, and after all, this is supposed to be Survivor. That she's saying what we basically said in our podcast.
Right. Stick it out.
Yep. But Sylvia, Kathy kind of helped me see a different light on that. So I wonder what you think about what Kathy said. That'd be interesting to know. All right, her last sentence. I love your podcast. Thanks again for your insight and can't wait for the next show. Sylvia, we agree. We cannot wait for the next show. We're assuming you're talking about Survivor. So we can't wait for our next show either, but we assume
really.
you mean Survivor. So
Now, if any of you disagree with any of these opinions, please
yes.
write to us and tell us. Put it on the blog. This is what we like. We
Yeah.
like contrasting opinions as much as we love agreeing opinions.
That's right. We'd love to hear them all. And really, if you want to get into conversations, do that on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
If you just want to leave a feedback for me and David, but it's not really designed to have like a lot of conversation going on around it, just put that on the blog. But man, let's use this Facebook group and start some conversations. So all right. So we didn't get any iTunes reviews, but we did get one more 5-star rating. So thank you to whomever did that. That was pretty awesome. And then we have previews. I do want to bring this up because I'm very intrigued by what they say in the preview. It's probably a mislead, just like Jeff saying blindside. Matt was blindsided, which we know he wasn't, and Nina, the whole thing about Nina. But anyway,
Yeah.
this is what he says. For the first time in Survivor history, a play will be made that will change the game forever. What in the world could that be?
When you look at the group talk, Greg looks like he's talking to Jonas, but this you have no idea. And then Jonas makes the comment that this is a big move.
Yeah,
I,
but
I think it's got to be intertribal. Something, maybe they get a choice of switching tribes or something. You
maybe I
know,
don't know. For the first time in Oh wait, okay, the only thing I can think of that might be the first time ever in Survivor history. What
uh,
if somebody on one team helps
help
another
somebody.
person during a challenge and totally mess
Wow.
and causes their team to lose, causes the other team to win? I've never seen that happen in Survivor history.
We've seen teams throw challenges, but we've
Right.
never seen anybody help somebody
Right.
on the other
What
team.
if Colton like purposely did something to help the girls win?
Well,
Or
that's a
what if
perfect betrayer. That's an exact betrayer right there, what you just said.
Right. So maybe that's what I mean,
Wow.
I'm just trying to think what could be first time ever in Survivor history.
Man, I'm so disappointed you came out with that and not me.
I must say I am not disappointed that I came up with that and not you. Wouldn't that be cool though? Oh, I can't even imagine. I mean, because Greg's yelling, cheater, cheater. I mean, maybe I'm thinking it's a guy.
If it's not that, we're going to be so disappointed because I can't imagine what could be the first time that somebody
Yeah.
picks up a leaf of grass as he's going through the channel. I'm like,
But that's not a first time.
I know.
I know you're not really meaning that was the first time,
I
but
know.
gosh, I can't think of anything else that would be first time.
Plus, I'm calling out cheater and betrayer. That would make sense, though. That's a good
Yeah.
guess, Dwayne. Well done.
All right, well, we'll see. Goodness gracious. All right, well, anything you want to add or ask our listeners?
Don't forget you get your fantasy picks in.
Yep.
I'm starting to get mixed feelings there between Bill and Jonas. I mean, all these
Oh,
previews are going to be misleading, so I should ignore them. I should ignore the previews and stick with my
yeah.
original picks.
I'm still sticking with Mike and Bill. I'm
Yeah.
still sticking with that. In fact, I'm even thinking about putting more points on Bill.
Oh, that's right. You said if the men win, you're completely out of points. That's
Oh
right.
yeah, I've got Solani winning everything.
Okay.
So anyway, hey,
Interesting.
guess what?
What?
I think according to our web stats, I think we have probably about 150 maybe listeners. That's kind of cool.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing.
So the 14 times I listened to it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I forgot to count all those. Oh yeah, we have 5 people listening.
No, I get it just once
No.
on Stitcher. That's the only place I listen to it.
Yeah. Well, I
So I can just do it
downloaded
on my phone.
okay, with Stitcher, I know all of y'all are really interested in this, but with Stitcher, we have 20 people that have added us to their subscriptions or to their favorites.
Yeah.
So there's at least 20 people out there that have us added to their favorites. Now that includes you and me. So there's 18 people. And I don't know how many people subscribed, although iTunes by far has the most downloads, the iTunes
Wow.
media. But anyway, I know y'all don't care about that, but we're just, all excited and surprised that
And they're not all in the U.S. That's so
that's
cool.
true. Okay, so as David said, be sure to place your fantasy picks before Wednesday. I'm pretty sure David will send out a reminder.
Yep.
Okay. And music for tonight's show is To Be an Angel by Uncle Seth. And if you like our show, please subscribe on iTunes and review us on iTunes. That'd be great.
And invite your friends to do the same.
Yeah, and get your friends to join the Facebook group. So, all right, well, thanks again for listening. That's all I got. How about you, Dave?
I'm done.
All right, see you, everybody.
See ya.
Where does the sun go when it sleeps? Is every star that shines so brightly in
All right, are you
I'm gonna
ready?
be tired. This is gonna be another tired laughing feedback. You're hungry and I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm hungry.